Hey, sweet friends, this is Jann Gray, and I'm back to hopefully give you a little more explanation about what we're doing with the 30 Days of Gratitude project. Uh, I am so excited about all of you that have signed up and are already in our Facebook group and have hit the ground running. It's not too late. We are not starting until October 1st. So you've still got some time to catch up. But I have been getting a lot of questions saying, could you tell us a little bit more about it? We're not used to working with printables. Tell us all the things, Jann. And so I said, you know what? I need to tell you all the things. So the first project that we did was the tag book project. And it already exists in the video playlist for 30 Days of Gratitude on my channel. And this is the project that we ended up making. And it's just a fun little tag book that as we are studying, we can make notes in. There isn't a lot of space for decorating or anything like that, but that's not what its intention was. This was to be a companion piece that you kind of kept near your Bible as you were studying, and we're going to be writing notes that eventually you will feel like there's something that you want to respond to and create in your journal. So that is one thing. The other thing is, let's just talk about printables for a second. In this kit, you get 48 pages of ephemera, paper pack pages, and journal pages that are printable. I've designed them. You can print them as many times as you want. I would ask you not to share them with somebody else, but if you want to, say you like this square and you need 3 of them, well, you know what, in the real physical product world, you'd have to go buy something that had 3 of those in it. You can just print as you go or as you need. But printables I design are, I try to create them so that you can get at least one project, if not multiple projects, out of what you have created. And my suggestion is that you print them on presentation stock. Now I print on koala photo mat paper for all of my pages and my ephemera, because that's it's just a nice, it's not too heavy. It's not as heavy as the cardstock that we would use, say, for Copic coloring or something like that, but I don't use copy paper for that. If at times there are things that you may want to print on copy paper because you're really just wanting to scrunch them up and do all kinds of things, but that's basically what I print them on. So the designs as you receive them are all one-sided, but you can choose any of the papers that are in your pack or something else that you have and print on the back side. And I suggest doing that. I usually print on the back side. Here's what I've learned about doing that. When they cut, depending on your printer, really know your printer. I use an Epson Echo Print, and when they come out, I just put them back in the tray, face up the way they came out, and that for me is what makes them have the right registration. So if there's words and then I turn it over, the words will be printed on the same side. So that, I hope that helps. I'll put some notes down in the discussion below to remind you about the paper preferences that I have made. So what you do when you get these is you cut your pieces out. This is called fussy cutting, and I try and make it as easy as possible. These little rusty bits over here actually fit a punch. Let me grab that punch. Of course, it would be buried. This is my, we are Memory Maker's punch, and these will punch out really nicely on the 5/16 punch. So I try to save you as much time as possible. Those of you that use Silhouette and have the print and cut version, you know that you could pull these in, do your cut lines, and have it do that for you. So let me show you what you get with the tag book. Now this is extra. When I do a full kit, it's 48 pages, and it will have pages, it'll have ephemera, it will have oh, all sorts of things in it. But this one, I divided the main kit into 3 sections. One was ephemera, one was called the paper pack, and one is called the journaling pages, because this is a very heavy journaling project that we're working on, and so I wanted to make sure that my designs had plenty of space for you to journal. So if you have not watched the tag book project, here's just a quick flip through. Those are the covers. You've got, again, you can see that I've made it sure that there's plenty of space for journaling, and you get some ephemera along the side, and you're beginning to get a sense of our lovely fall color palette. Just so many things. One of the things that I want to share with you is that one of the videos that I want to do is going to be on creating clusters or mini collages, because I think a project like this is really conducive to that. And then I've included just a very simple background that you could then use as your page that you copy onto the back side of your journaling pages. Okay, so that project ended up looking like this, and in it I show you how to make your own additional pages, how to decorate, and how to do this tab binding, which is really fun because it allows your book to lie flat, which when you're taking notes is really helpful. So that is the tag book project. That is an extra project. It's 7 pages and a whole video that is dedicated just to this. And in most of my kits, I only have 48 pages, so that's kind of an extra special one. Now these are the 3 additional, 3 normal pages, and I'm going to set the ephemera aside for just a second, and let's look at the, I'm going to set this one aside as well. This is the paper pack right here, and I had fun. I love fall. Oh, I wish the weather would begin to be such that I could enjoy actual fall, but I come to my studio and it is fall in here. And so here's the first page, and you can see that I have taken one of the other pages and I've printed it on the back. And we have a really fun palette, because I feel like you may have other fall projects that you want to work with, or some home decor projects that you may want to work with. And in addition to these kits, Hope, one of my dearest friends, is putting together physical add-on kits for little goodies and trinkets and physical items that you can add in. And she has worked very hard to make sure that the color palette matches, but that you could be using the things that she provides, like ribbons and um, material and all kinds of fall leaves and sunflowers and just gorgeous things. They all fit in nicely with this. This fits in nicely with those. If you want to do, let's say, make a picture frame or a a holiday Thanksgiving card or something. Because you own these prints, you can print them again and again and use them for a variety of projects. So that's one of the reasons that I particularly love using printables, is because I'm not stuck with a pad of paper that has a whole bunch of paper in it that I won't ever find a use for and need to find storage for. I print what I want. I reprint those that I need more of. So look, I'm sorry. I just looked down and went, oh, that gorgeous leaf. I love it. I love it. Now, the topic that we're talking about is going to be gratitude and rest. And I will tell you, I am so excited because obviously I've been working on this a little bit ahead of time. And I think all of us at this point in our lives could use a little rest. And you know, maybe if you're like me, you need permission. Well, God tells us to rest, and he loves when we step into this creative place and tune out the world for a little bit and tune into him. So what I'm hoping to do is provide you an opportunity to do just that, to see what his word says about gratitude. You know, gratitude really is, it's the basis for 90% of how we get through each day. You know, I always say I want to wake up with a good attitude. Well, I'm not going to have a good attitude if the basis for it is not gratitude. So we're gonna talk about that. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of the point. So there are these backgrounds that will be so much fun to decorate. I've tried to leave plenty of room for you to do all kinds of things. This one, I will tell you, I stamped and made some really large labels that became part of uh, my stash for my clusters and that sort of thing. We may have time for me to show you how I did that. This one, I just loved this French dictionary paper and some of these. I think I put two of those in here. Sorry, but some of these fall foliages. And this is just honestly one of my favorite pages. I will tell you that I have printed this out on thinner paper, made envelopes out of it, and sent thank you notes in envelopes that were made with this paper. Again, when you have these kinds of resources just at your fingertips, you can go print one and make whatever it is that you want. The front of the card that I sent with this, I used a part of this pumpkin. It makes itself, and you can move on with the rest of your day. I'm just a hoarder of maps, so I have a ton of them. And so on here, I'm pretty sure that you have one that is just blank. But I know that another thing that several of you have told me is that you love the look of the little clusters, but you're nervous and don't feel really confident in making them. So I've done two things. One, I've tried to put a few in that will show you just some little shorthand. Look, all you really need is a neutral background, a focal image, and maybe a label or a number or something like that. And you'll see that I use that same sort of look up here. I have a neutral, a focal image, and then a little subfocal image here as well. And then give you the opportunity to try that out because you have so many fun ephemera things. These could be front or back pages. Here's that wide, just unadorned map that you can do all kinds of things with, and then another fall page. So those are your paper pack pages. Now let me show you your journal pages. And again, the purpose for these is I'm not planning for myself to decorate them as much, because I know that because this is a study and reflection project quite a bit, I didn't want to overtake the purpose of the project, which is to study and get into the word um, and learn deeply, with too much decoration. But how much is too much decoration, right? We all have our own levels, and you know what? You do you. The other thing that I think is cool is, even if you're not going to be using as many journal pages as are provided here, how cool would this be to fussy cut out, or this be to fussy cut out and use as a journaling card? And again, even if you're using this page, how fun would it be to cut this out and use in another area? Because when we use elements that are similar or the same in multiple places, it brings cohesiveness to our design. And there's nothing better than the eye going, oh, I've seen that before. And it rests a little bit. So there's that kind of journal page. There's this kind that you could cover up and put a little side tuck in and yet still have a really nice visual. You can do some journaling here, create a fun cluster if you wanted to on a page like that. Similar design, but different elements. Nests with some acorns that are beginning to, acorns or olives, I'm not sure which those are, but they looked fun. And here's a collage page that you very easily could just use to create your envelopes, your tags, so many things. But fun, fun, fun elements on it. And again, giving you space to do your own thing. Something that gives you a nice visual foundation, but you can add other things into it. Trying to get some of everybody's favorite colors in here. This could be one of my favorite pages. I just love all of the color variety that is in there. And know that you don't have to print on both sides. You can decorate the second, because when you fold it, this is a page and this will be a page. And you could do stenciling, you could do some tea dyeing on here. You could print these on tea dyed paper. You really have a lot of options when you move into the world of printables. And because we have our Facebook group that you are invited to be a part of, if you are participating in the 30 Days of Gratitude, there will be people there, myself and the other participants, that can help answer questions. If you've never tea-dyed before but have a question, we have a question helpline in there, and many people will be able to help you. Lots of fun mushrooms and fall florals. I like having some bold colors for us to work with. And then I like the neutrals as well. So and here's the thing. You don't have to use every single one of these pages. If owls are not your thing, if they kind of spook you out, you don't have to use that. Know that you can use this section over here to make an envelope or a tag or something. I've included a theme of music and music notes because one part of our devotional series is going to be looking at hymns of thanksgiving. I just think sometimes just reflecting on the words of those that have gone before us, who've lived their life, made it through. My sister and I talk about the fact that we prefer to read people that have already died. And that sounds kind of morbid, but the reality is, sometimes, I wrote a book. I was in my early 40s when I wrote that. I've I've lived 20 years since then, and wish I had been able to give a little bit more of the experience that I had now back then. But we do the best that we can. But I am going to be having a section of hymns for us to focus on. And we're back at the beginning. So there we are on the journaling pack. And let me grab the ephemera. Now, ephemera is one of those things that I may look at a little bit differently than your normal junk journaler, Bible journaler, printable creator. I know that I am going to use only a fraction of what is in here. There's 16 pages of really fun things, but I'm probably not going to use it all because I'm going to bring in some other things that I want as well. And the frustrating thing is if it's so highly themed, then it's only good for that one project. So you will notice that I have definitely fall palette, definite fall kinds of items in here, but I also have things like a couple of pages of these kinds of things that honestly you can put in a little box like I have here, and they just sit next to my desk, and they're there for me to just dig through. I'm a digger. I don't know what his little picture is doing in there, but they're in here because when I'm doing a cluster or a collage, sometimes you just need a little something in a certain color that doesn't necessarily have the word fall on it. So I feel there's plenty of things in here that will scream fall, but I also wanted, when you're done with this project, to be left with ephemera that you could just keep near your desk in a little bucket like my little bucket over here for you to dig through and add to your designs as you go. So one thing I will tell you, notice those were a lot smaller. That is my small bin. Know how I got them that small? I printed 2 to a page, and then I printed 4 to a page. That got pretty small. But sometimes you're just looking for insy binsy. You really want something that's about a centimeter, but at times you need the largest. So to make them the highest quality possible, I made them about as large as I felt like you would want them to be. And then knew that with your printer you could size them down. So there's this fun page, so many fun things. And then this, you could use this in some sort of floral journal as well, but I think the colors are just striking and gorgeous. And you get little tags, and you get journaling cards, and you've got a little gusseted pocket here, another gusseted pocket. And again, any of these, you don't have to use them as a tag. You could use them as part of a collage or something else. I mean, it's really up to you. I'm just giving you, at this point, these are elements for you to determine how to use them in your own work. Okay? Have some fun fussy cuts. Again, and remember, I wouldn't suggest sizing them up because if you size them up, they're going to get pixelated and fuzzy. But if you want lots of little leaves, just print 2 to a page and you'll have lots of little leaves. Okay. Here are some more little gusseted pockets, and then little journaling cards, or these could be tabs to go on your page. So many things. So many things. And you'll find there's some of my original artwork in here. I just share with you guys whatever I'm doing. Here is a page of words in the warm colors and in the more cool colors. I know that it is always helpful. Sometimes I need a specific word, but then I find it and it's not the right color. So most of these are duplicated. There's a few that are unique to each color, but for the most part you'll be able to find that. And then we have those that will be useful for other things as well. They're still the same words, but we're giving you 4 different options. These 2 I print smaller. Now here are some journaling cards and pockets that will fit really nicely onto your pages. I think and here are some not journaling elements. Here are some fussy cut elements. And for those of you that have not done fussy cutting before, I've actually given you a little line that you can go around. Feel free to go tighter in if you want to. One of my tricks is to take a kind of off-white pen after I've done my fussy cutting and just go around the edge of it with that off-white, and it will take away that really bright white edge, particularly when we're working with so many neutrals. And we have another tall pocket with a couple of tall tags, some tabs, some tickets. I'm just trying to give you things to work with so that whatever your style is, you have what you need. Some deeper pockets and then thinner ones. I think these would be fun to stack on a page. In fact, I may do something like that. Note to self, I'm going to grab stack on page, because I can think of an idea and forget it just about the time my voice stopped. And then there is this page, and I think this was included in your tag book download. If not, let me know and I'll put it. If you don't find this anywhere in your all of your printables, what I did was, this was a just mop-up sheet that I had, and I thought it was cool, and so I ended up stamping some labels on it, and thought you might want to do some stamping and create some cluster bases. So there is that. And then here are some circles, I believe. Let me see. They are 2 1/4, 2 1/4, a 2 1/4 punch or a 2 1/4 circle die. We'll cut that out, and then some fun little words to go with them. But these would be great bases for clusters. And then we have another one of those little bits and bobs that will be so fun to use. And we're back at the beginning. So those are your 48 pages plus 7. and I will be back to show you just really quickly how to put together the base. I'm not going to decorate the whole thing because I want you to do that, but I'm going to show you how to create this little folio that will hold tons and tons of journaling spaces in it. Okay, so let me clear everything off and then we'll come back. So to make this folio, you're going to need 3 envelopes, and I'm using 3 different colors just so you can kind of tell the difference between them. I'm going to use the 2 green ones to represent the ones that are just folded in half, and then I'm going to use the yellow one as the one that we're going to do in the W, Mountain Valley or W fold. Okay, couple of other things. I'm going to be using tape runner, but I will tell you that for the ones that I make for my books, I always use some sort of wet glue. It holds better, it holds longer, holds more securely. I'm a fan of the art glitter glue because it holds pretty quickly, it dries pretty quickly. I am going to suggest that you have a bone folder. This is a Teflon bone folder. It does not leave shiny spots when you press it down. I have it linked in my storefront if you're looking for one for yourself. Again, I even hesitate to say anything, but one of the ways that you can support this ministry is to, if you, I'm not asking you to go and buy things, but if you are in need of something and you can purchase it through one of my links, it costs you no more. They do not raise the cost to you. They just pay me a small commission. So I've tried to link as many things as I possibly can down in my storefront that you can find in the description below. And the Teflon bone folder is definitely one of my favorites. So you'll want that. You'll probably need a ruler of some sort. You may need some scissors or a paper trimmer. I'm going to use scissors just for speed today. And then I'm going to use a 1-inch punch. And I don't know if you can see this, but this is a trick that somebody taught me, I don't know, years ago. It was to find the middle and to draw a line and to find the middle this way. So you kind of think of putting crosshairs on it. When you go to notch something out, I don't know if you can see that, you can line those up. Know that you've got it in the center, and you'll get the same size notch every time. Genius. Major kudos to whoever did that. Okay, so we're going to start with our greens. And the first thing you want to do is you want to give, I don't like licking, so I'm going to go ahead and just run my tape down and get those closed. Now the reason that I'm not as much a fan of using the tape is I never get it right to the edge. So we'll do that, but you can rub it away. That's good. Do the next one. I'm going to go. I have been using this particular folio from way back in the day of when I used to make mini albums. It just was a favorite of mine. I loved it because it just gave you so much real estate to put little notes and journaling or ephemera or bits and bobs or whatever you wanted down in so many places. And for me, the joy of creating something like a mini album, you know, that was always more on the scrapbooking side of things, but it was memory keeping. And you know what? Bible journaling or faith journaling or just journaling is also about memory keeping. We learned something, we observed something, and the joy of getting your tape runner to work would be something I might want to remember once in a while. Okay, I'm going to put that down out of the way for just a minute so it doesn't cast any shadows. I'll close that up. Rub my extra off. So while I'm doing this, I want to tell you, so the way that the 30 Days of Gratitude project is set up is that there are physical projects for you to be working on alongside of the study that we're doing on gratitude and rest. And that portion of the project really begins October 1st. I've been writing and studying and drawing from previous projects that I've worked on about gratitude. I'm sorry, I just about skipped a step because I'm so excited about telling you about the devotional side of things. Okay, so this is the top of the envelope. We've closed it. It's now sealed. And so you could either take a paper trimmer or just your scissors. And you just want to cut off a sliver at the top. You want to do that on all three. Okay? You can do that before or after you fold them in half. I'm going to keep them, didn't rub that off. But the devotional part of it is so much fun, and it will be taking place in our Facebook group, 30 Days of Gratitude. And to be part of that group, you need to have registered. And you can register by clicking one of the links down below. And we'll get you caught up. And that's also where you get all the printables. The printables right now are not available sold separately. They are part of the overall project. I may make them available on their own when the class is totally done. I don't know for sure, but it will definitely be after, not while the 30 days is going on. I'm going to cut this off. So you register, you will be invited into the 30 Days of Gratitude Facebook group, and there all the goodies that we've been creating and all of the additional training other than what is available here on YouTube will be available there. There's downloads to help you figure out the color palette. There's other freebies that are in there. I'm going to put these away. And starting on October 1st, there will be a daily devotional or prompt. Not everything, there won't be a devotional every day, but there will be devotionals or a scripture passage and study prompt. I realize that this time of year is super, super, super busy. And so I am trying to be mindful that people may only have time for one thing or the other. So I will try to keep it very doable, but there's so much good stuff. So I'm folding all of these in half, and then there will be discussion groups in the in the Facebook group, and we can learn from each other, or we can process things that we're thinking about with each other. Again, just wanting to make it as much of a community experience as if we were actually able to gather around a table. So I'm hoping to do a live um, Q&A in there at some point, and that will be where we reveal the add-on kits. Now, the add-on kits will be available on my website after people that have registered for the class have had a chance to purchase what they want as well. Okay, so let's get on. That's the basis of 30 days of gratitude. I do hope you'll join us. I hope that answered questions for folks that were like, now, what do we do with printables, and how do we... There's going to be more videos to show you how to work with the printables, but I wanted you to see what the printables were. Kind of like if you went into Hobby Lobby and flipped through the paper packs and went, like that one, nope, like that one, nope. So or am I the only one that does that? Okay, so nice crisp edges, and I have made it so that the little sliver that I've cut off is up at the top, and the green ones are going to be the ones that are just cut in half. The yellow one to be the one that kind of forms that extra folio. And to do that, now you can measure, if you like, 3/4 of an inch for this size envelope would work really well. So I'm using my ruler to do this, and I'm taking, here's the valley, I folded it to the inside, this is the top edge, and I'm putting it here, and I'm putting it up and pressing it, and then I'm going to put it down and use my bone folder to give it a really, really, really good press. Then I'm going to turn it back the other way. Do the same amount. Fold it up. Just run my fingers along there. I can fold it back the rest of the way and use my bone folder to give it a really good press. Okay? So here's the part that is the least trick, is the most tricky, and it's the least tricky. It's not tricky. So if you grab, here's your W. See, we've got our W. It's this way. Okay. If you grab this part of your W, making sure that you've got your open spaces up here, and you put that over both of those legs. We've got 2 V's, and we put one leg of each of the V's next to each other. And now we're putting this here, okay? So all I need to do is put glue down here. I'm not going to do that for the sake of video. I am going to run my tape runner right down, but you want to get that glue right up to that edge, okay? I didn't do a great job of it, but I'll squirt some glue in there later because I really wanted glue anyway. So I'm just going to double check that this is my open. I've got my V and my V, or my bookends. Got those with the slit at the top. And I'm going to go in and put that center right there, and I will use my desk to even it up and close it and give it a nice press. And here we go. The last thing, well, let's do a little flip through. So it can go this way, and we'll do a little, I'll wait for that one because it's easier. This way, just like go it, you can turn it to the left, open it to the left, put it back, open it to the right and to the left, close it, open it to the left and to the left again. And because this, I marked this because it confuses me. So I put tape or glue to page. Okay, so I'm not going to decorate it. I don't want to cut a notch out there, but I do want to cut a notch out here. So I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to go here, and these two are going to be the same size. So I'm going to do them both at once, so I don't have to worry about matching them up. These two are going to be the same size. So do that. These two will be the same size. These two will be the same size. And these will be the same size. So there you have it. Really simple, easy folio out of 3 envelopes. And lots of real estate. You can add a little ribbon and tie it. You can, the weight of the book will hold it together just fine, but very fun little added place to use some of those fun ephemera that you got in your paper packs. Take care. I hope you'll join us. We've got a few days before we actually kick off. It's not too late. Please register down below and we'll get you all set up. I'll see you soon in the next video. Bye.